Pisces, it's finally your turn. This is your collective reading for December. I invite you to stay and take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't try to make anything fit. Also, don't fall for scammers. I'm never going to reach out to you first. I'm never going to ask you for money. That is a scammer. If you like this reading and you want to say thanks, I have my Venmo information. You can send me a Venmo. It is never required. And if you want to purchase a reading from me, the only way to do that is to click on my website, which is linked in my bio. I'll also put it up here. You can click on my website and look at all of my services that I offer, and you can purchase a reading there. So Pisces, let's get you your reading for December. What's going on? What do you need to know and hear at this time? For my Pisces collective. And two more. Okay. Pisces, you are in your power right now. You are the Queen of Wands, fiery, bold, taking action, really owning your power. You're so intuitive and so emotionally open. I feel like you tend to initially come off like you don't quite know what's going on, or you're sort of quiet and in the background, but here you are just harnessing all this power. And when people finally start to get to know you and ask you more questions, it's like, you are not someone to mess with. And you're not mean. You have so much self-respect and power, and people respect you. The more and more they get to know you, they're like, that is a person of deep respect. In the challenge position, I see the King of Cups. This is confusing because you are so powerful here and you are so emotionally open. I almost feel like this is not you. This isn't even about you. In the challenge position, the King of Cups, this might be another individual. Might be a romantic connection, 222 on the timer. It might be a connection that you feel very drawn to. It does not need to be romantic, but if it is, it's like you might be meeting some emotional blocks with this person. If this is your partner, or if this is someone you're just newly dating, they might not be at the emotional intelligence level you're at. And you're noticing that that's kind of concerning. There are some red flags there. Pay attention to that, Pisces, because that could cause some problems. So I think you're realizing this and you're reflecting on it. It's not that you're like blissfully unaware to it. Really, right now, you're in a very abundant period. The Queen of Wands is powerful. She is expansive. And the Empress here, she is so maternal and so not gender specific, by the way, but like there's this fruitfulness, there's this receiving energy. You're in a very like receptive time. But I feel like the kicker here is this person who's not meeting you on that emotional level that you deserve. It's like you're offering so much support, but this person isn't able to meet you there and give that back. In the past, it seems that there were some toxic relationships or toxic patterns that you had been facing, and you really identified them, and you did your best to illuminate them and overcome them. And that takes time, but it's like you've come so far, because right now you are being seen as the Queen of Pentacles, not gender specific, very grounded, very open, very emotionally open, responsive, financially stable, financially responsible. It's like super ideal energy. So it tells me that like this toxic cycle was something of the past and you've worked really hard to get past that. This other person though, the King of Cups in the challenge position, it just doesn't seem like they're quite there. They're not quite ready to move forward in their healing journey. I think part of them still have some lessons that they need to learn. And while they have lessons they need to learn, it's not your responsibility to make sure they learn them. They have to do that on their own time. And I think part of you really wants to come forward impulsively and be like, if you are serious about me and if you're serious about taking this time with me, like you need to get to it. Like really want to clear through any fog and yeah, just like cut to the chase. It's like you're getting impatient with this person. Again, this is going to deplete you if you're constantly checking them and trying to make sure that they're learning these lessons. They just might not be ready to do this right now. You've got to be willing to make these changes for it to be a long-term success. Like, you really took the time to heal from these past patterns because you wanted to. And here you are now in this authentic, grounded, powerful, abundant energy, and this other person, it just seems like they're not ready to face that side of themselves yet. There are some shadows and there's some ego wrapped up in that they're not ready to face or admit. Maybe accountability has been hard. Maybe they don't want to take accountability necessarily, or it's just rarely do you hear an apology. I think you're going to need to have a conversation with this person about what your expectations are. Get very clear about what it is you deserve, because you are the Empress. You are the Queen of Wands. You are powerful. You're the Queen of Pentacles. You're grounded. You know what's up. So it's like you've got to be really intentional with this person. So I said it's not your job to really illuminate the lessons they need to learn, but one way you can be helpful is just to state what's not working in communication. That you're not meeting me emotionally where I am. Like, we're in a very different place. You can name that. You can illuminate that gently. Be bold, be confident. This might be a really difficult conversation to have. I think you've been avoiding it, actually, because I see the Hermit in reverse. It's like you've been avoiding your own intuitive hits that are like, we gotta talk about this. We've gotta fix this. And it's like you've been like avoiding any alone time to really think on your own, because anytime you're in like those quiet moments, it's like that's when you start to think about it and you're like like, I don't want to address this right now. There might be a lot of chemistry with this person, a lot of good things, but there are high highs and low lows is what I'm getting, and that's going to lead to instability. So this conversation does need to happen, and you do need to set aside some time for it. Spirit's asking you to set down these burdens that you're carrying that aren't yours. It's almost like you're carrying the weight of this other person for them not being willing to take the accountability and take action in their journey. It's like you've been waiting so long for them to just get it. And in the process of that, you've been like almost holding them up. And you're tired, Pisces. Like, you need to be focusing on so many good things that are happening for you and not trying to like spoon feed this person and nourish them when their soul doesn't want to be nourished. So Spirit's asking you to set down what isn't yours. Try to clear out anything that doesn't belong to you so that you can continue this abundant energy. For the outcome here, I think you're going to be thinking about, is this going to be possible long-term to be with this person? Is this person going to serve my highest good? Is this person going to come with me once I have this conversation? Are they going to be willing to make these changes? And I think you also just need to let go of any attachment to outcome or any illusion of control in this situation. Allow the situation to play out however it may be, but just know that you're being backed by the universe. You're in a really great spot, but that does require you to go on this journey to some degree alone. You're not alone, but like, you are taking initiative and you are responsible for yourself. So Pisces, this is really good. Be patient with yourself, be compassionate. That is your reading for December. So I will see you in the next message. Take care.